Welcome to another paint to print video. And if you've followed our other videos, you know that we are doing all of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We've done Donnie, we've done Raph. Next, they call me Mikey. So we got Mikey here. Looking. It looks like everything printed correctly. Good deal. We already did one of the nunchucks earlier. So let's go ahead and get all this off the plate and we'll get it all washed. All right, so here we are, all printed and washed and cured. Here is the chest of Mikey. I wish we had a little bit of a youthful face. I feel like his face looks kind of, I think he had a little bit more of like a smiley. I think they're going for a smiley, but it looks kind of menacing. I got the legs, our nunchucks, the same little backpack things that were on Raph. So everything here, the base is printing, the main part of the base, and then this little fire hydrant goes on the base. But the cool thing is Fortnite's currently running their TMNT scans, and you can kind of see here, this is kind of what I was going for color-wise on Mikey's, the more bluish green. I like when Mikey kind of has that bluish green. You'll see here, like Leo we talked about is a more just kind of very neutral green. They kind of did, I kind of went off the same designs that they kind of thought of. It's kind of funny. I went a little bit light with my Donnie, but you can see Donnie gets kind of like a pastel lighter green. And then there's a very kind of darker, rich green for Raph. So I went a little bit more extreme on them, but it was kind of cool to see. For one, I love these designs. I think they did a really great job. They really nailed the designs, but it was kind of funny to me how like the color combos they came up with were kind of the same as what I was thinking. Here's initial test fit. The legs went in real clean. If I let go, I think they'll fall out, but that's okay. I do need to do a little bit of trimming and some sanding down on the peg on this arm. This arm I think is pretty good. I might clean it up a little bit more just to get a cleaner push, but you can see he's got a really kind of high-end pose because the base is really has a big end on it, and they kind of it'll make more sense here in a little bit when you see it. But good test fit so far. We'll do a little trimming on this arm, and then we'll get him primed. All right, so here he is assembled prime, and here it is primed. So he's all nice and primed up, ready to go. I did also paint the base while I was waiting. You can see how that turned out. I did a cool little, so if you saw my Iron Man video where I kind of toyed around with like the kind of scratched metal look, you can see I did it here just by dry brushing a little bit of metal like around edge surfaces or where kind of metal contacts. Turned out really cool. I think the fire hydrant looks really awesome. So there's the base. You know, I usually like to do the bases first, just kind of gets the juices flowing. I don't know if I'll start on this yet because the Super Bowl is on. But if I get bored, I don't know. Maybe I'll come over here and get the airbrush going and get going. But we're pretty much ready to start on Mikey here. Just kind of getting ready. It's still a little tacky. I'll probably do it tomorrow. But these are all the paints I have lined up for him. That's all the different kind of colors it's probably going to take to do Mikey and the... It's kind of crazy when you look at it. You kind of grab them one at a time, but I was just sitting here, so I thought I'd get them all out. But look at all that. If you've watched my other videos, I've gotten pretty creative with my backdrops for the air gun. We've got our bluish greenish mix here ready to go. But this has to be my best one. It's a torn up 12-pack box, and I got a Chipotle bag behind it. Actually, it looks like I need to mix this up a little more. So our mix here is a decent amount of this kind of tealish blue, and then just a dash of a rich green to kind of bring in a little bit more of the green. So that's what we went with here. To get the kind of bluish green that we want for Mikey. So let's go ahead and get him sprayed. All right, sorry guys, I didn't get better video. I was having a lot of issues with clogging. So here you go. Here's a little bit of a bluer mix. It came out a lot darker than I kind of thought maybe it would. And we did some of the shading, our shading trick. It looks a little, I wonder if it's really close to Raph. Let me go grab Raph. Okay, not as bad as I thought. It's definitely a more richer green than what Raph is. I was worried they were too close in shade, but that'll work. He does seem a little more shiny than my other ones. It might be because this is like a satin finish. I don't know. We'll let it dry for a bit and see. I do have a matte spray, So if I want to just cover the whole thing in like a matte spray before I start doing the details, we can do that. But we'll just let them dry for now and see how it comes out. All right, let's check in on how we're doing. I think this might be the best I've ever done on the chest. I think I finally figured out, I did like a light airbrush and then just touched up the corners with a brush. Did first coat on the shell. Oh, I gotta get the underside. First coat on the shell. I'm going to do first on the pads and everything. But starting to get some detail. He still looks so shiny. I don't know if it's just because I'm right under the lights or what. I feel like my other ones didn't look this shiny, but we'll see how he turns out. You can always try to dull him up a little bit later. Okay, so we had a slight emergency. Let me catch you guys up on, but I think we're done for the night. I just need to put it down. So I noticed that there was a lot of wetness building up around the elbow, and I couldn't figure out what it was. Like the paint wasn't sticking. I don't know if you can see it there. Hold on. It's got this kind of ripply effect. And I realized it was uncured resin. So I took the arm off and I realized that it probably drained out of this hole just slowly over the last few days while it's been sitting here. And it drained out, filled this up, and then overflowed. It was coming over and like none of the paint was sticking. It was just getting bad. And resin doesn't dry. Like you have to clean it off. So I cleaned it up. I put the pieces just back in the cure machine for like a minute just to try to cure up any undue resin. Try to touch up some of the green, but I'm just going to leave it overnight, let it sit now. I was also just getting really sloppy with some of my work here on these elbow pads and getting a lot on the arms, and it was just, I was rushing. So we're going to stop. We're going to let that all dry. We're going to let everything on here just dry for the night. We'll come back tomorrow and see what we can do here and do some of the detail work. Because I don't want to start doing detail when I already recognize like I'm in a rushed position. I'm not like giving it my best. So we're going to stop, come back tomorrow and see what we can do. All right, so we're back the next day. It's done a little bit better. It's dried up, so I was able to kind of fix that point. I did some of these detail work that I do. I also did the kind of wash on the pads and the belt and everything. You can see we started the bandana. This orange paint does not cover very well. Look how like thin and light it went over. So usually if the paint does that, you just got to roll with it, get that light coat down, and then let it dry, and then we'll come hit it again here in a few seconds. But also painted some of the weapons here. I do need to go ahead and do like a black wash on the wood parts, but you can see we did the metallic on the nunchucks. It did break. This part broke, but one goes under his arm, so I'm going to go ahead and get him in place on his arms, and then I'll glue them back together. And I went ahead and just, while the arm was off from last night, went ahead and just had been painting on it while it's been off, because why not? So that's where we're at, and we're going to see if we can't get this bandana a little bit better. All right, here he is, the next in line of the turtles. Let me see if I can get some better light going on in here. Michelangelo, all fixed up. This one definitely throws the most curveballs. I'm still not happy. I mean, if I get it real close there, you can just see how really bad the mask is. I don't know what I'm going to do. I might have to get a different orange and try to go over it. I mean, once you stand back, it doesn't look too bad. The camera kind of amplifies it. But some things I think this is the best chest I've done on any of them. We got the weapons look good. There's the shell in the back looks good. So it's not terrible. I love what I did on the fire hydrant. So there's some good parts, but also some bad ones. But I also think the green's a little too shiny. I may hit it with the matte spray. I don't know. Here he is with his brothers. There's Mikey, Raphael. Still, I think this is the best one. The first one we did, I think, turned out the best. And then we got Donnie. The second one we did. So, yeah, he's too shiny. I needed to have that kind of matte look. I think I might give him a good spray. Man, that Raphael turned out awesome. But there you go. There's Mikey. Mikey's done. Only one left. We got to get Leo done, and then we'll have all four with the in our display here. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. I mean, I don't know. I guess let's see how I feel. I think I might do some more. It just needs a little bit more work. But for now, we're done. But thanks for tuning in. Please like this video, subscribe, and stay tuned for when we do Leo. Let's see if we can't get back on track, because I feel like we've progressed. We've gone a little bit backwards each time. So let's see if we can't get back on track with Leo.